Go. Welcome to Now That's a Show. This is our special, not Halloween, our Election Eve special. So Jake and I decided to dress up very presidential. He's got his red velvet jacket on. And I've got my Captain Crunch, a.k.a. George Washington outfit on. And we're doing this remotely today. Jake, why are we doing this remotely today? Are you there, Jake? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Oh, his audio's off.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. That was unexpected. Now your microphone's not working.
I'm trying to shut Alexa off.
Oh.
She's patriotic.
So we're social distance today because that hoax reared its ugly head and people near Jake. So I thought it was a good idea just to be safe and stay safe. So in lieu of Jake here in the parlor.
After all these stupid shows, now we're doing one virtual. This whole concept has ruined my life.
We've got our fragile here. Well, today's show, though, is about signs you will not see at Trump or Biden rallies. These are signs we think you won't see at those. Now, in addition to signs, I asked a few people what they thought would not be at Biden or Trump rallies. And, in addition to signs, our focus will be on the signs, but I heard at a Trump rally, you won't see masks at a Trump rally. At a Biden rally, you won't see people.
Beep, beep. Beep, beep.
So here we are. I guess we're less than 24 hours away from the first votes coming in from the states or the reports. That's just 7 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
So here we are, being very presidential.
24 days from.
And we're going to have our discussion.
Should be lucky for 24 days.
Yeah, that's true. We'll see. But in prep for that, just got a few ideas on signs you will not see at either Trump or Biden rallies. And we're going to start it with some, unless you got something to share with us before we start, Jake.
No, not yet. But I already shared something. Oh, you know what? We were gonna talk a little bit about looting too. I think this is looting eve as well, isn't it? Regardless.
Yeah, well, there's going to be some looting during the day, probably tomorrow.
Or maybe.
Well, they boarded up everything, haven't they?
Yeah. I wonder, did they board up the Carvanas?
No.
I think after seeing people stealing like appliances, I mean TVs are easy, but when you get into the appliance thing, why not just let's go right for the cars? I mean, smash.
Well, I mean, those are things that they need for their life, right?
Like a car.
Was it Pelosi or Maxine Waters or somebody said? They're just getting their essentials. AOC said that. Washer, dryer. And ironically, that one, I did see that one video of the person wheeling out a washer. They had a hand dolly.
Yeah. Did they steal the hand dolly or did they go in with it?
I mean, did the hand dolly just happen to be there, or did they bring it with?
Probably was used to break glass. Here's a trailer.
Oh.
Back a trailer in it.
Did they have a box truck to take it away too? Or they just wheel it down the street?
Yeah, just a low riding Caprice. Caprice Classic.
Well, let's dive right into this. Let's talk first about signs you will not see at a Biden rally. And just so everybody understands how fair I was, I flipped a coin, a quarter, being George Washington that, and decide who was going to go first here. And I guess Biden won or lost the toss. Yeah, he tried to flip a dollar bill, but it just kept going. So, these are signs you will not see at a Biden rally. Signs you won't see at a Biden rally. The first one. God's gun and country.
It's kind of hard to say though, because there are so many more Trump people at the Biden rallies. So you may actually see some of these things. But there's
as counter
yeah,
supporters.
Like, pull over, bus.
That was
that's
pretty funny. That was pretty funny. What was that, Texas? They surrounded the...
Yeah.
Huh. You're not turning that on, right? We got a show going here.
Was he trying to watch TV?
He's trying to watch TV. Just don't turn the sound.
No.
Another one. All lives matter. You won't see all lives matter.
How about Old Lives Matter?
You'll see. No, you won't see that
How about
either.
just what was that word that he came up with the other day when he was speaking? It was like he just kind of said like "buzzers of them."
Oh, yeah. He's done that a couple times recently. I think it was just the cold air and his cheeks kind of froze.
Maybe his what is it, Pepsodent or whatever gave loose?
Pepsodent. Is that what keeps
Yeah.
you Pepsodent?
You would know that, wouldn't you, George?
Yeah. No, mine's just varnish.
Wood
Sandpaper. Woodworker's glue.
What's the over-under if he wins? How much longer he'll live? Is it 60
Who,
days?
Biden?
8 months?
Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. That's one of the signs at the rally. Next one, Jesus would vote for Joe.
Jesus is for Joe?
Yeah. Nobody's going to have that at a...
What's the plural for Jesus? If you have multiple Jesuses, how many? Is it Jesus?
Jesus.
That doesn't sound right, though.
Is it JESUS apostrophe S or just apostrophe? Like your name is like that.
It might be Jeezy. Jeezy, because Young Jesus, the rapper.
It's Kanye.
Is that who he caught?
Do you know that Kanye is carrying 3.3% of the early voting?
He's still running, huh? We should have done what you won't see at a Kanye rally. So, next one. Save the Electoral College. Save the Electoral College.
Oh.
Because I think that might get them again this year, right?
How brilliant is the Electoral College? Think about it.
Oh, I mean, if you're a historian, it makes a lot of sense. And I voted for it back in 1787.
Thank you.
Good job, Georgie. GW.
How about you won't see this sign, America First.
Wait a minute. Is it at all the Trump rallies?
No, you will not see that at a Biden rally.
Oh.
These are ones you will not see at a Biden rally.
Maybe if he stopped watching the other show, he would be able to follow along with what we're doing.
That's right. He's watching a Kanye rally right now. How about hashtag #MeTubin? Get it, Jeffrey Tubin? Is that hashtag #MeToo? Jeffrey Tubin.
So don't you think it's
Too soon?
At the Biden rallies, they should pipe in horn sounds so it makes it seem like there's more people like they do at football games? They pipe in the crowd.
They have to. There's nobody
They
there.
have more horns. More.
All of a sudden, you just start hearing,
I
foul, foul.
thought the hashtag #MeTubin would go over
That
pretty
was
big.
good. I just stopped laughing. You weren't paying attention.
How about Anthony Weiner for press secretary? Remember, these are signs you're not going to see at a Biden rally. Next up. How about our candidate has more energy than yours?
Come on, man.
Who's
Come on, man. We can do this. We can do this.
I'm gonna do it.
Come on. How about NRA members for Joe? I don't think you've seen that.
I don't think they wouldn't take a shot at that one.
How about Dems for private health insurance? Not one Democrat have you ever seen say, I'm fully behind private health care companies?
Until they take power, and then all of a sudden the lobbyists go after them.
Right. How about save capitalism? Not going to see that one either.
They don't know how to spell it right. They always get the A and the I wrong.
How about Biden for Harris? Actually, I think you might see that because I think that's the plan, isn't it? Get Biden.
Biden for Harris. Oh, that was a good one.
That was your bit of homework. Here's 2 more years for Biden. Not 4. I just want to get a couple in there before he goes bye-bye. How about sniff my hair, please? Somebody in the crowd like he's a rock star. Sniff my hair, sniff my hair.
Our voting, we're gonna get a lot of votes, like a Fabergé organic commercial. You tell 2 friends, and they'll tell 2 friends. Well, you know what? We'll have 5.
Was that Fabergé?
What?
Was that the Fabergé commercial? I'll tell 2 friends, and I'll tell.
You see, I was like, you tell 2 friends, and you tell 2 friends, and then we'll have 5. Do you ever see, what was it, Evan Almighty? When Steve Carell's sitting at the desk and he makes him say all those words? That's good.
Yeah. I think that was Bruce Almighty, actually. How about build the wall?
Build the wall. Finish the wall.
You're not going to see that?
Finish the wall.
At a
More
Biden
like,
rally.
take down the wall.
Walls are racist. And here's the last one for Biden. Epstein didn't commit suicide.
Wait, he didn't?
See that at a Trump rally, but not a Biden rally. See what we're doing here? All right, let's go into the Trump ones you won't see.
Grab him by the pussy.
Ones you will not see at a Trump rally. How about defund police?
Why is the print so small? Do you have a list of like 75 of these?
I think it's 15 in there. 15 each because it wouldn't be fair if I had one more than the other. Nonpartisan. Troy Aikman for Trump.
I don't get it.
Because he and Joe Buck were complaining about the flyovers. Did you see that on the hot mic? Yeah. They were complaining about how stupid the flyovers are at a college football or pro football game. It's a waste of taxpayer money and everything else. And so they lost a lot of people. So we were supposed to have a flyover at our game last week, and I was going to film it, coming across, and tag Joe Buck and Aikman. Hashtag suck.
What happened? They just have some.
No, the weather was too bad. They couldn't do a flyover.
Islands came down with COVID.
Well, and they were complaining about, they said was a waste of taxpayer money. Those guys use those for training.
Yeah.
It's a training exercise. So they're doing it anyway. It's just bad optics.
Optics?
Tone
Optics?
deaf. Speaking of optics. Jeez. How about bring back Romney? Bring back Romney. You will not see that sign at a Trump rally.
You notice that all the Republicans have just ditched this guy. They don't support him.
Not all of them. I mean, you got McConnell, who you really don't want to support.
No, but you don't see any of these other people out there really pushing him. They're just like riding your coattails, George.
How's about Hillary was screwed in 2016? Again, Dan, you won't see this at a Trump rally. Pack the courts.
More.
That one you will see at a Biden rally. How about Joy Behar for press secretary? Big supporter. Big supporter. And so articulate.
She sounds like a wrong answer on a game show. Yeah.
Family Feud.
That was one of the more harsh, you got it wrong sounds. I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, you would just be sitting there and you would throw the thing up there. Everybody would wait. And it was just like, surprised. It was like they didn't time it perfectly, so you knew when it was coming.
It's not as friendly as the Price is Right one. But you do well. Do it.
I just did it.
Dun, 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 dun. How about, speaking of game shows, how about another sign you won't see at a Trump rally? Hollywood supports Trump.
Access Hollywood.
Even they were quiet this year.
Are you getting in here? You can move for Eli. How's about pollsters for Trump? Pollsters for Trump. It's like saying network news for Trump.
Oh, God's sake. I hope they get it wrong, and they get it wrong bad so that we don't have to listen to this crap anymore.
Well, did the pollsters not learn any lessons from 2016?
That nobody pays attention to polls?
Well, I mean, didn't they miss the mark by a ton on their polls and their exit polls and everything else?
It's the whole thing's a joke. Like, all polls are stupid. Not all. I mean, flag polls or poll position, or some polls are good.
Polls for exercising. How about Save Obamacare?
He doesn't have a plan.
How about statues are racist? I did see that sign. I did see a sign that said statues are racist. Not at a Trump rally.
We lost a few of yours this year, I think.
Yeah.
Costumes are racist.
I guess they don't exist. I mean, would this be considered racist?
I mean, I would think so.
If somebody says it's racist, I'll just say it's Captain Crunch.
Probably still racist. Is there a chocolate crunch?
There is peanut butter balls, strawberry. I don't know if there's chocolate. Choco Crunch?
It's not too late.
How about this one? Make the wealthy pay their fair share. Well, that's one thing. I don't understand that. What is fair share? How much is that? Is there a number?
I don't think so.
Then when they say fair share, what do they mean?
Well, we don't know. I mean, I'd love to find out. What is
It's
fair mean?
When they say they got to pay their fair share, how much is that?
It's just more than...
$150 for a billionaire.
I mean, there's no... If you ask somebody, they don't give you an answer.
They don't know. They just literally just want to compete. That's what they're not getting. It's not good enough. It's never good enough.
So I don't know. How about stay safe and practice social distancing or distance? Social distancing. You will not see that sign at a Trump rally.
Is the next
How about climate change is no joke? Climate change is for real. You will not see that at a Trump rally. Here you go. Make the Subaru great again. Subaru.
The next segment should be signs that would be totally epic at any of these rallies. Stir the pot.
Yeah. And then finally, the Trump Jr. / Hunter Biden in 2024 ticket.
Your team up.
You're not going to see that.
Trump Jr.
Yeah. You won't see that. Where is Hunter right now?
Let's talk about Hunter.
But Trump goes, Hunter Biden. What does that have to do with, well, I guess, if Dad hooked him up with some Russians. Well, Jake, you've been active in this discussion tonight.
My dog is extremely sick right now. He's got to have COVID too.
Are you symptomatic?
What? No.
He's not. It's
Yeah.
Juliana.
COVID. I'll tell you what, that test, it's not fun. Don't let this nose fool you. That thing goes up there a long way.
Well, they had to.
God, the guy brought out, it was like he was using one of those like ball finders in your golf bag.
Yeah, is it telescope? Did they telescope it in there?
I swear he sharpened it like a toothpick too before it went up there. Because when I went in, you have to sit outside. You have to wait for your turn. And the guy next to me, he got it, and I just watched. He's sitting there, and he's just like, like back into the left just slightly. And I'm like, yeah, he survived it. Didn't take him long. Then all of a sudden it came out to me. He's like, he goes up, and it was just like, oh my God. And they had to do both, they have to go with both of them. And it was just, your eyes just water up, and you're just like, oh, disgusting. And then I watched the guy, I watched the guy in the car next to me.
Like, if you got it, it's going to be in one nostril? So wouldn't you think if you have it, it's going to be in one nostril or the other? Why do they have to do both?
I think that they're just still testing. They're like, all right, well, we got two nostrils. Let's go for both.
Well, you would think that'd be something they could do rectally, right?
They get.
I didn't ask.
Yeah.
So
they were able to get back to you in
30
short
minutes.
time?
And I got nervous too because
That's why they're testing
they're
everybody.
testing everybody.
Like,
They came out and there were these two nurses that came out and they had masks on. I'm like, oh shoot. I was thinking they would, if I didn't have it, they would just come out, They're like, no, we wear masks all the time. So.
They say what percentage of their tests are positive?
I mean, I didn't ask.
8%. Like, it's incredible. They're like, yeah, the positive tests are coming back at 8%. I'm like, so you got 100 people sick there. Everybody thinks they got COVID, and you got 8 of them.
And then what happens is, as soon as you kind of get in the mode, it's like every little thing, you're like, oh shoot, is that COVID? Like my elbow hurts. Ow. Is that COVID? Do I have COVID elbow instead of like tennis elbow? I got COVID elbow. So that's it. That's why I was forced to stay here, in this house.
That's why you're social
The old
distance.
people. They're like, oh, by the way, you should.
That should have been.
They said you should quarantine for 14 days. I'm like, why? I don't have anything. They're like, well, you know somebody who does. I'm like, oh, insane.
So what do they do with quarantine? Does that mean you don't go anywhere?
Yep.
You stay home?
Stay home. Not fun.
Good luck with that. I'll see you November 16th.
That's from last week, so I'll be ready for next Monday. This is going to be my new jacket, though. I may not wear the tie.
Are they going to get you on some Regeneron?
Oh, no, I want
What's that?
steroids and stuff.
Regeneron? Are you?
No, I don't have it.
Preempt.
You have to have it to get them. I don't have it.
Are you disappointed?
Well, I mean, I don't know, a little bit.
Kind of a letdown.
Yeah, you're
We
left
got
out.
it. I've been trying to find it forever. I thought I had it on this one.
Now, did they give you the antibody test too?
No.
Maybe that was the second nostril.
Maybe I should ask them.
See, maybe you had it already.
I mean,
That's a good.
Just wait for COVID 20. You'll be good.
which
You'll
one?
get it.
That's a good lead into the next thing. That's our awkward ending. So predictions. Let's do predictions.
All right.
Predictions on the presidential election tomorrow.
I think,
Jake, what do you think?
I say Trump wins, but we're not going to know for a long time. And it's going to be the craziest
Trump
couple of
wins?
weeks. It's like worse than, well, I guess Florida was pretty bad, but I think that he's going to win by a large enough margin, but there's still just that outside corruption on the other side that's just going to, oh, wait, we found another box. Another box over here. There's a box over here that says Biden votes. Let's count them.
And they're all 100%.
I got a prediction. So I read today that like a hotel occupancy in Los Angeles is up like 30%. So I think they know what's going to happen. I think the numbers are going to be, so I don't even know how many electoral college votes there are total, but I'm thinking it's going to be something like 300 to less than 300, sort of 200 something. It's going to be a blowout.
We got to have 270.
Yeah, so he's going to have way more than he needs.
He being Trump?
Trump. And then what Biden and team are not going to do is concede and make that call to, make a concession speech or call Trump because they're not sure yet. They want to verify this and that. And riots are going to be kicking off, and it's going to be on Biden to say, okay, enough is enough. Let's concede. And it's going to be a huge moment, and he is going to come up with some crazy words like ferrarity and whatever it is. International car.
Come on, man. It's the only thing he hasn't screwed up saying.
And I really feel bad for the guy because he's way past his prime, and I think it really is a shame what they've done to the guy. And in order to get Kamala in there, it's just a shitty way to do it, and can't trust them. So Trump, by a wide margin, riots are going to kick off.
All right, well, let's talk about the riots then. Only riots if Biden doesn't win?
I think there might be some others if Biden does win, because you have to look at what is really going on. Like, if there's 35,000 people showing up to Fayetteville at 10 in the morning, and then another 50,000 somewhere else, and they got 10 people honking horns at a train station with it's there's no way.
Well, as the founding father of this country, I'm going to weigh in. And I believe that Trump is going to win. And it's going to be a bigger margin than it was over Hillary. Yet at the same time, I think there's going to be protests to say not all votes are counted because they got all the mail-in votes. It goes secondary to the day of votes or the early voting. And then you've got the absentee ballot, military ballots. So I think it's going to take a little while for it to be formally, conceded.
What about the Senate? Why does everybody keep dividing the Senate? Like, who's voting for a Republican president but not the Republican senator? You know what I'm saying?
I think you have a lot of that.
He's going to get swept in. They're all going to get swept in. People don't even know who's on those other ballots.
I mean, it's just like, I don't know. I think that could be an interesting thing if they hold the presidency but lose the Senate. But
that's not unusual.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I think it would be an interesting dynamic.
I think the Trump voters and the people who are going to vote for Trump are just as invested in the platform as they are for him versus Biden. And I think people are just fed up, completely fed up. And that's going to have huge implications on the local level.
Yeah, but how can you not vote for somebody that's been in Washington 47 years? He's got all this stuff that he can make happen.
That's my entire life.
That's sarcasm, because he's been there for 47 years and hasn't done anything.
I mean, Trump on a second term, I think it's going to be kind of fun to watch. Not having to worry about it. Not that he's worried about it.
It's going to be completely untethered.
Well, I'll be interested to see then all the people that said that they would leave the country if Trump wins.
6 years later, they're still here.
Well, there are more that came out that weren't as vocal in 2016. So I'll just be interested to see.
Bruce Springsteen.
I think, I mean, if you get a moving company, you could do
International
pretty well.
moving.
Yes. Because they're all going to move to Canada.
Greg Gutfeld, he's like, how come none of them ever go to Mexico? They always want to go to Canada. Like, right? Like, they don't want to go to Mexico, but they want to let all them in here.
Go first.
I go to Mexico for Canada just because of the weather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, bye.
All right. Well, that's a good wrap for our show, and we'll be back. Heck, we might be back tomorrow night, late night, if this thing's going on. We can do an
Special
impromptu.
bonus edition, election night bonus edition.
The chances are you're going to be wearing the same thing, so why not? Why not take advantage of it?
Well, we won't see these signs.
All right.
All right. Well,
An episode.
till next time, we'll see you on the next edition of Now That's a Show.
Bye, Chris.
Good luck at the polls.
We need to keep recording the postscripts here. This is where the
Yeah.
good content's.
Bye, Dan.
Like Aikman and Buck.